Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
Of course, it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
And it's getting
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
Every doggone day I wake up and it's the same old crazy coming out of the pie hole of this fool. All right. I feel better. I had to say it. I had to. And you have to understand, I've been up rolling since about 5:30 this morning. So I'm fired up, lit, and ready to go. How about you? Welcome to the show. It's called The Lee Michaels Show with Carol and the cast of characters. And we have many. And you are a part of it. You are officially a part of the characters of this show. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I think it's time, folks. I said it in a little video promo before coming on today. It's time to not only impeach this fool, but force him to resign and prosecute him for breaking federal laws. And we've been talking about that for, at least 2 weeks. Apollo brought it to our attention first, and he read the law in detail as to what the president has done wrong. You cannot contact private industry and dictate to them what they can or cannot do as it relates to hiring practices or what you want their employees or people who work for these companies, meaning the NFL teams and probably others that we don't know about. You can't do it. It's against the law. Even the president is not above that law. It says it clearly. The executive branch, the legislative, which means the House and the Senate people, as well as the judges. You can't do that. It's punishable by a major fine and up to 15 years in jail. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Good night. It should be over. But unfortunately, as we wake up every day, this clown is still in the White House. How? If it was Carol, she'd be fired, prosecuted, and run off the grounds of the White House. If it was Chris Bass, same thing. Alfo, Little Frankie, Apollo, maybe not for Spy Boy because he's got his head up their butts. And me, I would go out fighting. But they would do me too. And they would do you. Why is this guy above the law? If this was President Barack Obama, I don't even want to think about the consequences on that. But he's still there. He can grab a woman by her private parts. He can threaten to support racist people. No, he didn't threaten. He said, I'll do it. Take him out on a stretcher. Beat him up. I'll take care of the legal fees. I could go out into Times Square and shoot somebody, and you damn fools will still support me. He said that. He didn't say the damn fool, but that's who you are. He ain't messing with Eminem. I wonder why. What do you think, Carol?
He came back. I got to find it. He did a little rap.
No.
Or thought he was.
Oh, okay. That should be comical.
I can't even think about him today. The new thing he's going to do, he's putting his own health care in. He said he can do that. Nobody can stop him because he has that right. And since people won't vote it in, he will put what he wants.
Okay. So, again, he wants to be a dictator.
He is a dictator.
And we allow him to get away with that. So, who are you going to be mad at? Don't be mad at him. He's just a fool. He's already proven that. We should not expect anything different than what we've already seen coming out of this guy. He's proven to us who he is, what he's all about, what he's going to do or not going to do. He's going to undo everything that President Barack Obama did because he has a personal vendetta, hate-filled. Now, he started the fight. But Obama slapped him around at the correspondence dinner. Made him look like a fool. And that's what this is all about. This is all about a get back, payback from a schoolyard bully. But I bet he was not a bully in school. I bet he was a chump. I bet he got slapped around. I want to hear from someone who actually went to school with Donald J. Trump. Elementary school, junior high, and college. Any of you, call in 424-227-9461. I want to know what he was all about as a youngster. What do you think he was like?
I don't really care. Can I say something?
Of course.
Anybody that knew Andre Morgan, he passed away last night.
Yes. We talked about him yesterday, and we asked for prayers. He's made his transition.
Well, they said he went very peacefully.
Good.
I know it had to be. It went so fast.
Yeah. He was a kind man, and I'm glad to have known him, worked with him. He was in the record business while I was in radio, and he was always a kind, gentle, and professional. Never saw him upset. He didn't come to me crazy. Hey, Lee, I need you to play this freaking record for right now. Never. He was very professional, presented his product in a very professional way, and I've always had respect and high regard for Andre Morgan, who made his transition, late last night? Carol?
Yes.
Yeah. So we pray for his family, and let's remember the kind and gentle things that Andre brought into this world. We have a caller here. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And who do we have here?
You got me.
Who is me?
Me, Ron Ellison.
Oh, Ron.
Yeah.
Did you know Andre Morgan?
First, I was getting ready to say to you, did I know him? We lost one this week on both sides.
Yeah.
Lost the brother out of St. Louis over there with you.
Alvin John Waples?
Yes. And then yesterday we lost Andre Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I knew him. You know, when you really look back on it, man, we're all just a one big family.
Yeah, you're right.
We all worked together. We all got along together. And, you know, we all was going toward the same purpose, to make the music good and to expose it to people. And I don't know, Lee, I'm looking at this now. I'm thankful for every morning I'm waking up, I'm still breathing.
Amen, brother.
Well, you know, that cancer really hit him fast because he had told me when he found out he had it. I called the other day at the hospital before they moved him home to hospice, and then I talked to him at his house. But he couldn't really talk, but he knew everything you were saying to him. His son told me he would just light up.
I did not know he was sick.
I told people that. I put it on Lee's page, and then it didn't post right, so I took it down when he got worse because he told me about, I think it was about 3 months ago, he had pancreas cancer. And then something went to his lungs. But I think what happened is, from what I hear, some bed sores got infected too. But they brought him home, and I think it was late last night when he passed away because his stepson was sending us messages.
Yeah, how sad.
Really nice guy, though. I don't think my sister used to date him.
How long was he sick, ma'am?
I would say, when did I tell you he had cancer? Maybe 2-3 months ago.
Yeah, about that. That's when we found out about it.
Yeah, he had called and told me, and then, we talked about it. But then something went to his lungs, and because he was going to get something they could do now. I don't know if it's the stem cell, but they had to get his levels down. But then they found something, he told me, in his lungs.
Yeah, how sad.
Nicest guy, though. I don't think I've met a nicer person.
Oh, he's a beautiful guy. I've known him for years. I mean, years.
Yeah.
He's from Detroit, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Detroit, and I think he lived in Ohio. He never lived in California till when he moved here with his wife. He used to come out here and because he was in the record business, but he hasn't been in that for a long time. Actually, he was driving Uber.
Yeah.
Just to stay busy, but I feel bad for his wife.
Oh, yes, me too. And
I didn't realize he had so many kids.
Now, Ron, did you work with him? Did he work with you at any of the companies that you manage?
No.
Okay.
We were competition, but we were very friendly competition.
Yeah.
He was at Motown, and I was at Warner Brothers.
Right.
And I was in Chicago, and he was in Detroit.
Right.
And we covered the same areas, and worked with the same radio people, the same record stores and stuff like that. We didn't get in each other's way. As a matter of fact, I respected him. He was a nice guy.
Yep, absolutely.
And, both him and I came up in the Midwest during the 70s and had a great time doing it. So, no, I didn't work with him, but I worked right beside. We worked right beside each other.
Especially the local and regional guys, and even the national guys, all knew each other. It's a small, close-knit business.
Yeah.
And so it's hard not to know just about everybody in the industry.
You know everybody. And the other thing, Lee, is if you remember, we used to have 4 conventions a year, and we all get together and get drunk together.
Yeah, but Palm Springs.
That's right. L.A., Palm Springs, Atlanta.
Yeah.
New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C. They had, conventions all over the place.
He's on Facebook, too. A lot of people are leaving messages there.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna miss the very warm and gentle and professional guy. Andre Morgan made his transition late last night, and Alvin John Waples, what was it, yesterday or day before?
2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah.
Yeah, 2 days ago. Now, that surprised me, see, because he's younger than me.
Well,
but I guess
92% of the
92%
of the world is younger than you. See, only a true friend could bust a joke on somebody like that.
Oh, no question. No good. Well, you've known me long enough.
That's right.
Hey, and again, we come from, you come from one side, I come from the other side.
Right.
And we both did a good job, man.
Mm-hmm.
When I look back on it, and I'm looking at you coming off that Atlantic Ocean and coming through the Midwest, the West Coast, and then Atlanta, and the things that you've done, hey, we did pretty good.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm happy and content and humble.
Well,
for the success.
Well, I'm mad.
You mad? What you mad about, Ron?
I'm mad, man.
Give me a break. What are you upset about?
Living legends. When y'all gonna honor me? Hurry up before I ain't here no more.
It be called the past legends.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, you should have been inducted a long time ago.
Man, I want my name to go down in history.
That's right.
Living legend history.
That's right. Give it to me while I'm alive, not after I'm dead, because I won't know. Yeah, my kids might be, grateful and, feeling honored, but damn, let me walk across the stage one more. I hear you, Ron. Well, I'll have to talk to the people over there and see if we can't get you on the list for next year. You got to hang in there now, don't mess around.
I was looking for you, though, because I went to the dinner on Thursday.
I got it all screwed up, man. I'm thinking it was the next day, and my bad.
Well, no, it's not. It's not your real bad because usually it was the next day, but the place was booked, so they had to do it on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And they usually do the picnic on Sunday. They did the picnic on Saturday.
Yeah. See, they screwed me up. You can't do things like that to an old guy.
And you know what? You know what? I hear you. I grew up in Chicago.
Yeah.
And they every third Saturday in August they had the Bud Billiken Day.
That's right. The big parade.
For years, all of my life.
That's right.
It's a big parade, and not only after the parade was the picnic out in Washington Park. All the people would be out there.
Yep.
And they did that. And I remember talking to some people who ran that parade, and they said one of the secrets of this parade being successful is that on the third Saturday of August every year is Bud Billiken Day, and everybody knows it. Worst thing we could do is change the date.
That's right. and I was told by, I'm not sure where I either read it or somebody told me it's the second largest parade in the country?
In the country, yes.
The Macy's Day is the only one larger?
The only one larger, that's right.
Amazing.
It is.
And who in the hell is Bud Billiken?
Bud Billiken was the originator of the Chicago Defender.
Right.
The newspaper, the black newspaper. Well, it wasn't black newspaper, it was Negro newspaper.
That's right. Let me bring in another Chicago guy.
Okay.
Chris?
Yes, boom shakalaka.
Good morning. How you doing, partner?
I'm good. How you doing? Good morning to everybody. Good morning to Carol. Good morning to Ron on the phone. How's everybody?
Good morning. Good morning. Good to hear you.
Carol walked out. She's taking a commercial break right now.
Carol who? Carol, the lady. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
I didn't know Carol could have her own commercial break.
Well, Carol runs this joint, so she can do whatever she wants to do whenever she wants to do it. So she's special like that.
I had to blow my nose.
Carol, are you in California or something?
I'm in California.
She's
I'm
sitting right
looking
across
at
the
Lee
table.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right there in the studio. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got it.
So, we were talking about Bud Billiken, and I know Chris grew up there in Chicago, so he knows all about that as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You would plan your events in the summertime when this parade would hit, and you just knew that you're going to have a nice time, and the wafting of smells of barbecue at 3 a.m. in the morning before it started. People be out there with their grills and fellowship and everything else, and I always appreciated that. I've always liked it. Now, me coming up as a broadcaster, want to be a broadcaster, always watch it on TV because back then, your man and my man, Doug Banks, would do the commentary for the games here locally on WGN Channel 9, also Superstation, that went out from coast to coast. And to see him go from radio to TV, I was already there.
Yeah.
To watch him do his thing. And so that was another love I had to see, Doug Banks do his thing on the street, being with the people. Nothing like going out to the people in the public and shaking their hand and letting them know that you appreciate them.
That's right.
And I'm not saying I don't see it nowadays. I'm sure it still exists, but back then, I know a little something special to it, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah,
it ain't the same, Chris. What you're saying, all the stuff that you're saying is beautiful. Tell you something else. While you guys in radio and television were at that parade and pumping the parade up, all artists, believe it or not, wanted to make that parade because if you wanted Chicago and you was anything Negro, black. I mean, in the parade, Nat King Cole. In the parade, all the Motown artists came through.
That's right.
Artists, so people, Sammy Davis Jr., all them kind of folks,
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And it still goes on. I mean, it's still, it's surviving.
Yeah, they kind of, what would you call this? It was super, like Chris just said, super important. Now they come with, what's that they got there now, Chris, where it lasts 4 or 5 days?
Oh, the Taste of Chicago?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's
that used to be 2 weeks long.
Okay.
Yeah, they've trimmed it down.
Is. I don't know.
No, they've trimmed it down.
But they put it right on Bud Billiken Day.
Right.
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no respect.
So, well, you got to know. See, Chicago has 8. Let me get it right. 8.5 million people. 4 million of them people are black. So it's a lot of culture there.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's enough to go around, but I don't see why they felt the need to, put the Taste of Chicago on top of Bud Billigan.
Right.
Not only that, that's got to be a chore for security and people moving around in the city.
Yeah.
And all of that. So to me, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it's still separate. I mean, it's still more separate than before. I mean, of course, like you said before, that the Taste used to be a 2-week event. And as you know, people, like I said earlier, will plan their trips around that. People from out of town will come to the Taste and, have their vacation around that as well. And I think over time, it just got too expensive. A lot of people just told me, look, the food ain't good no more. That was a direct quote.
Yeah.
And people got tired of it. And then you had a situation that happened a while back where there was some quote-unquote gang activity at the Taste, and that just made white people run. They were like, oh, no, wait a minute, we can't have this type of behavior, people shooting, and I don't want my self to get killed. Don't be wrong, I understand that, but I think, once again, my thing is don't be selective racist.
Yeah.
Don't just pick racism out the sky and say, that's the reason why I stopped. You were racist before all this had happened.
Man, you just said a mouthful right there.
Right. Now, when I was in Chicago and doing BMX and WGCI, we didn't have those kind of issues. No. And we broadcast live from the Taste of Chicago every day that it was there.
Right.
And back in those days, it was 10 to 12 days or something like that. And on the 4th of July, and I think the night before, it was at least 1 million people out there.
Right.
We didn't have any riots and all those kind of issues.
Well, here's why you got them today, Lee. Hey, man, I'm telling you. And when this started to happen, I was head of black music marketing at Warner Brothers. So I was responsible for all the black music that we did at Warner Brothers.
Right.
And we used to have a meeting every Wednesday from 3 to 6. And the head of black music, the head of country music, the head of pop music, the head of sales, the head of advertising, we all get in this room and we would discuss what was going on with our products and what our next move was going to be. Well, okay, I knew every city in this country like the back of my hand because that's part of my job is to know. And I know from what you're just now saying, what you were doing, I saw this happen in 1985, 85 to 90. They dumped crack cocaine by dump truck loads in those neighborhoods, and all of a sudden, all these people walking around with guns in their pocket. Hey, them people don't make guns, and they don't make crack. But if you're 30 years old today and you live in those neighborhoods, you ain't never seen nothing else.
Yeah.
So
that's a scary part.
Yes.
Because there's generations of it now. There are generations of this poison of the neighborhoods,
Exactly. So, and the other thing is that, and I ain't going to stay on this too long, but when you look at 22nd Street to 55th Street, State Street over to Wentworth, all them projects with 1,000 people in each building and 4 buildings on a block.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot of people crushed up there together.
That was a small city.
Exactly.
In a 4-block square.
And so we had 3 sets of them kind of projects.
Yeah.
We had the Walter Phillips on the west side, the Cabrini Greens there on the north side, and then the ones I'm telling you about, I'll think of the name in a minute, but from 22nd Street, that's a lot of folks, man.
Yeah.
So when you start dumping crack over there, when you start dumping guns over there, you create you got, like I said before, you got people who are 27, 28 years old, don't know nothing else.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's more than, you're right, and that's more than said. I concur with what both of you are saying. When you have like the Ida B. Wells projects used to be here and now they're gone. Yeah. And when you talk about those type of individual, they're right, they were individual cities. And it's sad because you can walk a few blocks and be in a whole new world. But some people just stayed in that world or that 4-block radius and didn't want to move from that. That's all they wanted to know.
Well, they didn't know there was something else out there.
I think they knew, but they just didn't want to do it. They become lazy and complacent and just wants to just stay where they were because it's a comfort zone for them.
Well, I think that's probably part of it. And you got to have the desire to want to go somewhere else and experience something else. But if that's all you know, that's your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, it is what it is. I mean, I met an 18-year-old girl, 10, 11 years ago.
Uh-huh.
She had never been out of Baltimore, never been to Washington, D.C., Silver Spring, nowhere but her neighborhood.
Right there, a car drive away. She didn't go.
No, never. Never been on a bus, never been on a plane.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like, what? How's that possible?
Let me tell you guys something. What you just now saying, I know for sure because I was fortunate enough to have the kind of a job that put this stuff right in my face. What you're saying about those people is also true about suburban and small town white people across this country.
That's true.
Trump supporters. They don't know. They voting against themselves, and they don't know it.
Yeah, it's sad. Sad, pathetic, and funny, all at the same time. You're absolutely right. You don't know what you don't know if you're not willing to grow.
Exactly.
If you're not willing to listen and learn, look around, look beyond, and keep an open mind and an open heart to receive something new and some truth, as opposed to the lies and deceptions that is instilled upon so many people, especially small areas.
Exactly. And especially small areas, and they're all talking to each other. So they all talking the same dumb stuff to each other.
Right. Regurgitating the same bad message.
Huh?
Regurgitating the same bad message.
There you go.
Yeah, and it's sad. It really is. But
Let's see, what'd you say? If you're not willing to know, you're not willing to grow. Lee, you better get that copyrighted, man.
I don't have any idea what I just said. I have to play it back.
You got to see, exactly.
But I'm just
you
speaking
espouse
from the
all
heart.
this stuff. Right, but you don't espouse all this stuff, man. You got to get a TM behind that, make it a trademark.
Yeah, get some T-shirts made, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lee Michaels quote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, whatever.
Unfortunately,
If it makes sense, use it.
Okay. Unfortunately, there is a, I don't know what you call this, but I've heard it a bunch of times over the years. That is 80% of the community follows 20% of the 100%. So the 20% are aggressive, forward-looking, open door openers who will step out there. And 80% is sitting there waiting on them 20% to open the door.
Waiting for somebody to do something so they can follow along.
Right.
Whether it's right or wrong, they're waiting to follow along. Yeah, there are not enough leaders. There are more followers than leaders in the world, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you got to pick and choose the leaders that make sense. You can't, just because somebody's standing in front of a microphone or a TV camera or written a book or has a bunch of letters to the right of his or her name, and they're supposed to be, professional, people, doesn't mean that they are the smartest people in the world.
I agree.
They've achieved whatever they achieved, and they have a point of view, but it doesn't necessarily mean it is not skewed or a spin on it.
Right. I agree.
So be able to dissect and interpret and reason when you hear a message. Listen, everything I say you might not agree with, but do some research on it. If you find me flawed or fake, then bring it to my attention. I'll accept criticism. I don't have a problem with it. That helps me become better.
But you know what? When you look at this country, the occupation as we know of it for the last 350 years, we got a lot of different kinds of people who come here, and they come from different cultures. And you got Italians, you got Chinese, you got Japanese, all these people, Germans, they all think that they're right. And their culture, they all stick to it and follow it. And that creates more of a, like when you go to France, everybody's French. You go to Japan, everybody's Japs. Here, you got a lot of mixtures, and I'm saying that to say this. I think we ain't gonna get rid of racism for the next 200 years.
So, do you think we just need to? And I'm not sure if it'll change anything because it's so deep embedded. If you didn't describe yourself as an African American or Black American, you just say I'm an American. I know when I go to foreign countries and people ask me where I'm from or what I am, I tell them American. Guy was in my car the other day. He says, "Where are you from?" I said, "Originally?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Virginia?" He goes, "Oh." I said, "Why you say oh?" He said, "Well, I thought you were from another country." I said, "Why'd you think that?" He says, "Well, you could pass to be an Indian." I said, "From India?" He goes, "Yeah," because that's where he's from. So apparently, I reminded him of some of the people that he was seen in India. I don't know. I've never been there in my life. I said, "No, I'm from here, homie."
I'm listening to what you're saying. I've been knowing you for a long time, and I always look at you. Look at the brother side of you, but looking at you, you could pass for Indian.
Oh, shut up.
You could. You kind of favor them.
Well, you know, it's funny that you say that because people from that part of the world do gravitate towards me in crowds, and maybe that's it. That's interesting. I never really thought about it until now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They come up to me in their native language, and I'm looking like, huh? Excuse me, ma'am. You have a red dot on your forehead. You want me to help you with that?
I think I told you this before. This place is a melting pot. And one of my examples is, I'll never forget the first time I went to France. I'm in France. I'm at the house, at a hotel off of the main boulevard. So I'm in the culture of the French people.
Right.
So when you go over there on Boulevard Italian and the Sheraton and all that kind of stuff, now you with all the people, but now to go. So I remember I came out and I said to the lady in this small hotel, I said, I want to go to the hood.
Yeah, you told me that story.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah. The hood?
The hood. The what? I said, the hood. She says, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, where the black people are, the black people. She said, you're from America, aren't you? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I can tell. Everybody here is French. We don't have no hood here.
Get your butt on back to America with that hood attitude. That's funny. But see, that's the benefit and the knowledge that you gain through travel.
Yes.
I was talking to a guy today that just moved here to the Los Angeles area from New York. That's where he's most recently from. Originally, I think he said he's from Kansas City San Francisco.
Okay.
So him and his wife, newlywed, just moved here. He's in the advertising commercial production business independently. And we got to talking. You know, when I get somebody in my car, either you're going to talk to me or you're going to go to sleep. Either one. It don't matter.
Yeah.
So we engaged in a conversation. Shut up. Don't be snoring on the show. And then we began to exchange ideas and concepts, and he was telling me a little bit about his background. I gave him a little bit of mine, and, you know, the common thread was, you know, we're both in the media business.
Okay.
So he began to tell me about his travels and some of the places that he's gone to produce TV commercials and some of the people that he's worked with and all of that. And he said the most interesting and valuable thing in my life so far is the fact that I've traveled all over the U.S. and parts of foreign countries as well.
You ain't lying.
Meeting people that you didn't know existed.
Oh, my God.
The culture differences.
Yes.
The terrain, you know, what it looks like, the mountains and the rivers and the deserts and the beaches and all that. He said it's been a fascinating growth in my my life.
Absolutely.
And my perceptions have really changed because of the travel.
Oh, man.
And I said, yeah, man, I think that should be a prerequisite, a requirement for anybody, especially by the time you get into college. You need to get away and see something different because there's a lot out here to see and experience.
You know what, Lee? Stay with what you're talking about, but let me give you an experience you just made me think of.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in Chicago in the 1940s and the 50s.
Right.
And I became a musician and all that kind of stuff. But I still traveled around the United States.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I went to Japan, I went there with Earth, Wind, and Fire in 1975.
Okay.
Now, these people there, with a group like Earth, Wind, and Fire, it wasn't like Stevie Wonder or Prince.
Right.
Who can't walk down the street. When these guys ain't on stage, people just don't know who they are. We walking around there talking to them people. We were there for 3 weeks. I have never met the nicer people in my life.
Right.
They were beautiful to us. And I remember saying to myself on the airplane on my way back home, so now you are a stupid ass. You done spent your whole life hating Japanese. And you didn't even know one.
Right.
And when I did meet them, that was a whole lot nicer than these white folks over here.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
So I'm just backing up what you're saying about education, travel, and stuff like that. You can't beat it.
No. I mean, I've been to places I never dreamed of before, or only dreamed of. I used to lay in my bed late at night in Virginia and listen to stations in Chicago and just went, wow, man, those guys are so good. They're talented. And how tight they run the board and all of that. And I was just in awe with the greatness of what I was listening to on radio. And that was WLS, WBBM, and WCFL.
Oh, man.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I could hear
Super
them at
CFL.
night. Super CFL. Absolutely. And it was amazing to me.
There's a guy, wait a minute, the WCFL. When I was a musician and I used to travel, we used to get in the car and go from one town to the other.
Right.
In the evening and listen to Sid McCoy.
That's right.
On this 50,000 watt radio station.
That's
out
right.
in Chicago.
That's right.
I'm telling you, I know what you're saying, man.
Yeah. I've sat on the beach in Miami and listened to WLS.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's those are great stations that could be heard all over the country because at sundown, all the local stations that wasn't on the same frequency had to sign off. So at night,
right.
they could just, in 37 states,
And I
you could
know
hear
you
them.
can relate to this, Lee, because, and probably you too, Chris, because people don't know this, but when you really go back to the history of where we come from in the 60s, what made Motown great, they had some beautiful music, but so did Stax, and so did Philly International. But what really blew Motown up was once they got a solid place on black radio, they go to CKLW, which went from Windsor,
That's
Canada,
right.
down to the Gulf of Mexico, and then, boom, that would be forcing all them other white stations to the
That's
place.
right. That's right. That's how they grew it.
I'm
That's how they
telling you.
crossed it over.
Yep.
What was it? What was the music director, program director at the station up there? It was a
Rosalie
lady.
Trombley.
Rosalie, yeah.
Rosalie Trombley.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She
Yeah, you
did a
just-
lot for black music in America.
Yeah.
And she wasn't a racist because she's Canadian.
Now, is she still alive? Do you know?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't talked to the woman in 20 years. But
Right.
she did a hell of a... Motown should have bought her a house or something.
It's something. She should have moved to California when they did, huh? That's funny. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
the impact
that's
of that
magic.
kind of stuff, you know?
Huh?
Yeah, it's magic, and it's in your DNA, and it'll always be with you for the rest of your life, like you and Ron are going about that. And, you know, when I was coming up listening to all these different radio stations, different music, like here on the show, you might hear my music acumen go from, say, R&B to classic rock to hell, even classical music of Rachmaninoff. You know, just all of these different types of music. And I have to thank Chicago for that radio-wise because it gave me the open gates to not put myself in one box.
Sure.
Okay.
When it came to music. So it was beautiful. But when we're talking about how people perceive you and when you're coming from different countries or even here in America, while you guys are talking, I remember the story years ago, and you had one out there too, a restaurant, Laurie's the Prime Rib.
Yeah.
Very good restaurant.
It's one right here on La Cienega Boulevard.
So you got that, and we have here one in Chicago. So years ago, my wife and myself, we went there for dinner, and so we're dressed up. You know, my wife had a nice dress on. I had on a 3-piece suit. It was dark blue. Now here's where the story gets interesting. In Chicago, correct?
Oh, okay.
That's right, on Ontario.
Okay.
So my wife and myself were waiting for our table to get set, and we're in the area where they serve you drinks. So we're having some drinks. I removed my jacket, so I have my vest. I had a white shirt, tie, and, you know, I'm dressed. A white man comes over to me and says, "Excuse me, sir, something's wrong with the bathroom." I'm like, "Okay, we'll go. All right, that's your business." And he tapped me on the shoulder again. "Excuse me, sir, the bathroom is not working." "Okay, we'll go get the manager."
Call a plumber. What are you,
Right,
what are you
yeah,
telling
exactly.
me for?
Right. But, sir, shouldn't you go upstairs and, "Oh, you think I work here?"
Yep.
"Oh, I get it. No, sir, I don't work here. I'm just like you. I'm waiting for my table." Here's my wife, Vicky. Vicky, say hello to Nice Racist. Hello, Nice Racist. No, I'm not a racist. Just no, sir, it's okay. I mean, no, I think maybe the vest fool you.
They didn't want your black butt in that bathroom.
Yeah, like get your ass up there, please. You know, here, take this plunger and go back upstairs and go to work.
Go fix that damn toilet, boy.
Right.
Oh,
That is a funny, crazy story.
it is.
But to his credit, I have to say the whole thing. He did try to buy my wife and myself some drinks to smooth everything over, and I didn't want it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't want it. Yeah, by that time, I was really pissed.
I understand.
That's. But you know what? That's that was his perception. That's what That's where he came from.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what? I don't know if I would have been upset or just made him feel like a fool. I would have probably said, "No, I don't work here, but can I buy you a drink?"
Yeah. But you know what, though?
Just turn it around, you know?
Yeah, well, when you run into stuff like that, when I run into stuff like that, I've learned over the years, through a lot of travel, not to let it bother me.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Not to let
Take the high road.
Not to take
Right.
not to take it personally, because I ain't gonna change nothing.
Right.
The only one I'm gonna change is me, and
That's
I
it.
refuse
That's all
to
you
let
can
that
do.
Stuff get in the way and stop me from making another step forward because it's there, and it's gonna be and as deep as it is. Look at what's happening with the president, man. Hey, the reason why Trump is the president, and I say it over and over again, is that them white folks, after 8 years of a nigger, and now you're going to give us a woman? Oh, hell no. Them white folks are jumping out of trees going to vote. In Virginia, in Kentucky, in Tennessee, in Missouri, and all them places. That's why the man's president right now.
I think that's part of it. I like to think that there was some other parts to the quiet storm that got us to where we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening to you guys. I'm Native American and Jewish, Russian.
Oh.
And I see racism just like you guys do, but I get it a lot from when I used to go out with my ex, from black women.
Well, yeah.
I mean, being very racist to me and saying ignorant stuff to me.
Yeah.
So to me, racism comes in all colors.
Well, it
Maybe
does.
years ago it was
Oh, of
blacks
course.
were picked on and Native Americans, and Hispanics are really getting it now. I mean, Puerto Rico's proof of what he's trying to do. I don't know what his problem is with Latinos. I really don't. I can't figure this man out. But just giving you from another perspective, I've gotten it really bad from a lot of black women. And it might be the color of my skin, maybe the way I look. I don't know. But
well, we don't know what you look like.
They were always my biggest problem.
Let's put the camera on you for a second.
Let me finish, Lee.
You can
I'm not
keep
trying
talking.
to be funny right now.
No, but
I'm just saying, listening to this, we all get it in different ways. Because my granddaughter used to get it from the white girls at school. She's Brazilian, Portuguese, Native American, and Russian.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the white girls that messed with her. The blacks stuck up for her and the Hispanics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sad that things aren't changing because our cultures now, there's so many people of mixed race, like my son.
Mm-hmm.
When he used to tap dance, a black woman said to me, well, he's black. I said, he's everything. He can be whatever he wants to be because he's of many cultures. Who told you this? Is this something that somebody told you because you're part
perception.
black? And she said, yeah, it goes back. I said, well, then you need to move ahead and not let somebody tell you who you are or what you are. And I mean, I watched him write a great essay on this.
White folks can't beat black folks dancing. I'm sorry.
Huh? Well, he's part black. Yeah. He's part black. He's an amazing tap dancer.
Let me just say this. We have improved relations. We have improved relations among all groups of people. We just have more work to do. Mm-hmm. We do.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I think we need to move ahead. I mean, I see Trump trying to push us all backwards again and create his, as he calls it, his white America. But most of my friends, I have friends of all nationalities, and none of my white friends feel this way. They hate him as much as we do.
Well, I think the majority of the people...
I would say the majority of the people can't stand him. It's a few of these deplorables that have called, like you said, they came out to vote because they didn't want a woman in.
Right.
And a lot of people did not come out to vote.
The other part is this. Now, just look at the people who support him. Largely small town and suburban town people in America are the people who are strongly supporting this guy.
Yeah.
Now, you've got some people from other areas supporting him, too, but his real foundation is them people. And those people are that they have been raised for a couple of things. They think the flag is theirs, they think the Bible is theirs, and they think this country is theirs, and everybody else ain't got no business here.
Yeah.
So they better study their ancestors because it isn't theirs.
That's the problem. They don't know their own history.
I mean, I'm shocked that one singer, Mary, speaks so highly of Trump. I was really shocked with that.
I haven't heard what she...
Oh, yeah, she's a big Trump follower. I have Latino friends that think he's wonderful. I said...
Mary, the gospel
singer.
singers?
Yes. She's a very big Trump follower. Pull her up.
Yeah, well...
I was with one of the Pointer Sisters the other night, two of them, and they were talking about that. We were like, the stuff she's saying. Mm. And people love her, but it's like you're turning people away from you.
Listen...
It's better just to keep your mouth shut.
I have to accept and respect anybody, no matter who they feel the president should be or is. If you support Donald Trump, that's your business.
Right.
You're in America. You have a right, First Amendment right to voice your opinion, all of that. I don't have to agree with you, and I can give you 25,000 things that I see wrong with this guy and why I can't support him. And then you should have to accept my position. And we, as the old saying, we can agree to disagree and move on with our lives. And that's the great thing about this country. Mm-hmm. But see, you can't have it one way. You can't tell me I don't have the right to stand on a corner and say what I want to say or take a knee and I'm wrong and I'm disrespecting the flag and all that bovine. Mm-hmm. I have a right to do that, just like you have a right to do what you want to do. As long as you don't kill somebody and do some crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, the whole thing about the flag is this, to me, this is me personally. I understand what the flag means and all that kind of stuff. But the ones who really deserve, by God, this land is the Native Americans, not the American flag. And to me, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he says, "Why do those football players disrespect the flag?" I said, "They're not disrespecting the flag. They're voicing their opinion. That's what they're doing."
Yeah, they took a knee originally because of the injustice that's being observed among everybody. If you listen to Colin Kaepernick, and I listened to it again this morning, he didn't say just black people. He said towards people, and the guy happens to be of mixed race himself. Yeah, he just happens to be also an intelligent human being.
Right.
Okay? He is well read, well informed. He articulates himself really clearly, and apparently that offends some people. And they don't want to hear the message. They want to redefine and redirect and put a spin on it. Our president has made this thing an evil thing.
Yes.
And he's also used his power as the president to impact on the NFL, basically threatening them.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man.
But since when does a president worry about that stuff?
Well, he shouldn't.
I mean, it cracks me up when he tells Puerto Rico this morning, we're not going to do much more. You know, it's like, but those other states that got hit, they have a lot more money than Puerto Rico has.
Yes, they do.
And Trump put them in debt, but he doesn't want to talk about that.
No, of course not.
And it bothers me because because my granddaughter's Latin. What is his problem with Latinos?
Well,
what is his issue?
Same thing with blacks. He don't like you.
He don't like himself.
No, he doesn't.
I'm sure every morning he wakes up and has to look at that nasty-looking mouth of his.
Well, if I was looking at him and the hairdo and shit that he got, I wouldn't like him. I wouldn't like myself either.
I mean, that man is just, there's nothing cute about him. Nothing cute.
He is classic self-hatred. I mean, like I said before, Ron, you look in the mirror, it's like, damn, I really hate my own ass.
Yep, he's just like a lot of other wealthy guys.
It's funny, though. I watched him when he hit on LaToya, because when I used to work with Michael, we flew with Donald Trump on his private plane, and all he could talk about was LaToya.
Okay.
But she didn't want nothing to do with him. There's no way.
I understand.
So I don't know why he's trying to act like he's, the way he's acting right now.
Because he's
I think that show went to his head, to be honest. I really think that show, The Apprentice, I think he's there. I think he's missing something. When you don't know your wife standing next to you.
He still thinks he's on the show. That's the problem.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to stop
he's doing The Apprentice
press.
as we speak.
He says he's stopping free press now. We're not a dictatorship country. When I was in Dubai, I used to say to people, nothing bad happens there. I read the paper. They go, you read what they let them say.
He's a dangerous man because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He's the only one that can push that button on that nuclear bomb, if I'm correct, and his daughter.
Even the FCC, one of the commissioners, had to kind of, take him to school because he was talking about it's time to pull the license on NBC.
Yeah.
And one of the commissioners on the FCC commission had, sent him a reply on Twitter and gave him a link to like a 30-page document to explain to this dumbass that it doesn't work that way. You can't, because you don't like what the media is saying about you, you can't say that they're not qualified. You want to take away their First Amendment rights. And you got to understand the way this country was founded. The media is the fourth department of the government, unofficially. They were created to keep the government in check.
Well, to me, the media can make you or they can destroy you.
Yeah. Well,
look at what they're doing to Weinstein. There's a whole list of Weinsteins now. So
well, yeah, they'll get them all.
Get them all.
I mean, help that situation.
Yeah.
He kind of anytime.
He isn't denying it though, because his wife was my client for a long time, and he's not denying it. He's going to get help, but Cosby denies it, and the rest of them. I mean, come on, David Geffen. We know what he was about too. It's not just in one world. They're horrible.
David Geffen. What was he about?
He liked take young boys.
Right, yeah, so
Believe
that's
me.
what I figured. He was gay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is gay.
Uh-huh.
Cher was my client, and she was dating him, but he's gay.
The only thing I don't like about Weinstein, and maybe I'm wrong or not because it ain't been proven yet, but I remember when I was senior vice president of the black music department of 3 major companies, Columbia, Universal, and Warner Brothers, I always kept it in my mind that I was not going to go out of my way to say anything wrong to any of these women in this company.
That's smart.
Because if they do, it's going to turn around and it could kill my career.
Yep.
So I kept my personal life out of my business and kept kept them separated.
Absolutely.
Because I had seen what had happened to other, especially guys, because once you get that kind of power, here come your ego going in there with it. And now you think,
That's true.
and a lot of guys think that they're above and they can do things, you know?
Well, they've gotten away with it. Of course they
Yeah.
can do things. I mean, look, you think these actresses that aren't coming forward, you think he forced himself on them? They didn't complain at the time when he gave them those big parts, did they?
No.
No.
So they're to
No.
me they're just as guilty because you don't have to fall under that. I've had it happen to me where my clients have tried to get me to sleep with their husbands. I've had female clients that have answered the door naked and tried things and that, and
Yeah.
I don't want money that bad. I don't like women.
Damn,
Well,
I
it's
ne-
all right. If
There's
you say-
someone out there right now in the press, and she better hope it don't surface because she's known for that shit, where she hires young girls, and before you know it, these young
Yeah.
girls have to go to bed with her. They don't have to, but they do it because they want to keep their job. And
Right.
I watched that for years. So
And I think the men make the mistake to when you ask for it, you don't just demand it, you ask for it and say please.
And you've been on the road. You see these groupies. What do these young girls do, half of
Yeah,
them?
they'll-
They'll do anything. They'll
yeah.
sleep with the grips if they think they can get next to
That's
the
right.
artist.
Jeez.
I've watched
true.
it.
It's true.
They
should
will
have been a
sleep
grip.
with the grips.
Hey,
They'll
listen.
sleep with the ugliest guy on the road if he tells you, oh, I can introduce you to him.
Hey, listen, I was a manager for a hip hop guy, Domino,
Okay.
rapper. And
Right, I remember him.
yeah, and listen, we were out there on the road, man, and they find out I'm the manager. Oh my God, they would give me underwear to get to him.
They'll give you anything.
Yeah, I said, listen, I don't no, baby, you keep that on. If Domino wants to give you some, that's on him. But
Right.
you know, you can't come through me. No.
Now the reason why
No.
I don't think that Bill Cosby is nowhere near as guilty as they say he is first of all they're bringing up stuff that happened in 1972. I will never forget. I went to see Bill Cosby 5 times at the Sands. He was under contract at the Sands in Las Vegas for a year, and I went 5 times to see him. And it's customary when you perform at in Vegas that after the show you go backstage and the people in the audience come back and see you. You got
Right.
to stay back there 45 minutes.
Right.
Okay. So I remember going back there, standing in the line, going backstage. I got to tell you, there's 25 women in front of me with their skirts in their hands.
Yeah, but those same women are all accusing these men. I mean, Weinstein's not denying it, but these same women, I mean, you see them. They're accusing them, but this was years ago because it would have been around the same time because Janice Dickinson has to be in her late 50s. That's accusing him. And then you got Angelina Jolie now accusing Weinstein, but it all dates way, way back there.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that
But
would-
like people say, people are willing to watch their career grow, so they're
Yeah.
willing to do anything.
If somebody make a promise
Clinton's
to
no
him.
different. He
Yeah.
had that young little girl under there giving him a blowjob.
Right. But you know, I think
when was that?
I think a lot of that has softened now. I don't think it's quite as bad as it or rampant as it used to be. We've got somebody else on the
Oh,
phone
it's
here.
rampant.
I
Oh,
agree.
they're gone.
I
okay.
agree, Lee. It's not.
yeah.
It's not like it used to in the 70s, boy.
Yeah. Or the 50s or the 60s. It was buck wild.
Yeah. Only in the 50s or the 60s, we wasn't involved
No.
because we didn't have them kind of jobs
Not
then.
exactly. Not only that, you didn't have those kind of jobs, power, or success
Correct.
to be powerful enough to command or demand something from a woman or whoever.
No,
So-
you had to get on your knees and say, please.
Baby, please.
I used to tell women, especially, I tell them, they would be dating a record guy. I go, well, you're his girlfriend in this state, honey. I can guarantee you there's one in every state he goes to. I would tell women this, and they were like, oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what they wanted to believe. We've got somebody else on the line here. Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show. Okay, they don't want to talk either.
Okay.
So yeah.
Now, you're the man Lee flies with, huh?
Yeah, it's my fly buddy.
Yeah.
Now, Ron, did you fly down to deliver that plane yet?
Yes, I not this last weekend before.
Okay.
I flew from Los Angeles. Check this. The guy that bought the plane, he said, hey, I'll pay you your full price, but you have got to bring the plane to me because I only have 5 hours in this type of airplane, and in order for me to qualify, I need 20 hours.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'll bring the plane to you. So I left last Saturday morning.
Okay.
At 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going. His address is 158 Shotgun Avenue in Gun Barrel City.
You lying. You're making that bullshit up.
I'm not.
It's not possible.
You can't make shit like that up.
Wait a minute. What's the address again?
158 Shotgun Avenue in Gun Barrel City, Texas.
No.
I'm gonna what do you call text it to you on my phone? Your phone.
That's nuts.
And so I go to, man, this was interesting, because when I get there, then we go to the city hall. We pass by it. I said, hold it, stop. I got to take a picture. Gun Barrel City, City Hall looked like Kroger, a store.
A grocery store.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. So you go up in there, and you can get a Coke, some sandwich, all kind of shit in the city hall.
That's funny. Was he a cool guy?
Oh man, when I went in there and landed, Mike Lee, the runway is 45 feet wide, and the average runway me and you go is 150 feet wide.
Right.
And it was 3,000 feet long, the runway, and was only 6,000 people live in this town.
Wow.
Half of them was there when I landed. And were they nice to me? Very nice. Very nice.
Wait a minute. You said half of them they heard a plane was coming in?
No. Everybody knew that this guy had bought the plane, so everybody came out to see the plane.
Oh, that's too funny. I love small town America, man. They're just so genuine. It reminds me of a story when I was taking my boat on its maiden voyage from North Carolina. I bought it brand new from a factory.
I remember.
And I was bringing it back to Chicago. So we up in the Erie Canal, somewhere in upper New York. And it's right about sundown, just before sundown. So we figure, okay, we'll pull over here, and here's a little marina that's big enough for about 3 boats. And so we'll spend the night here, right? So we pull up to the marina, and we dock, tie the boat down. And there was 2 old guys sitting on like a park bench right next to the water, the river.
Okay.
And like it was planned. In unison, they got up together and went over to the edge of the pier and just stood there and was looking up in the sky. And what the hell are these 2 guys doing here? This is like really strange. So me and my inquisitive ass, I get up and I'll go over and stand next to them. So it's the 3 of us, 2 old white guys. They had to be in their 80s or 90s.
Wow.
And I say, what are we looking at? Because I'm not seeing shit but trees and, some telephone poles and stuff like that. He goes, just stand right there, Sonny. In about 10 seconds, the street light is going to turn on. I went, what? They did this every freaking day. They'd go and stand on the edge of the pier and wait for the street light to turn on. How innocent is that? I mean, really?
Hey, I'm telling you, that's what I went through when I got to Gun Barrel, Texas.
Oh, my
6,000 people in the town. Half the people showed up because they knew that this guy's Hoffman's airplane was coming in.
Wow.
And I came in there, and they all of them walking around looking at the plane. And stuff, you know.
That's funny.
Oh, that was a trip.
That's a big deal.
There you go.
You know, in a town of 6,000 people, and this guy bought a plane.
Right.
You know, that's a big deal. Yeah.
And everybody in town knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you ain't got but 6,000 people, man. Then there was a couple of nice they were very nice to me, though. I got to tell you.
Yeah.
And a couple of nice restaurants there. I was there for a couple of days.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I had to take the guy flying so he could feel that the plane could do what he wanted it to do.
Sure.
But part of the thing was for him, he said, hey, I'll know I'm buying a good plane if you bring it to me.
Of course. I mean, it's got to make it to him.
Yeah. It's
not like you put it on a tow truck. Right.
Yeah.
That's smart.
But
that
it was fun, though. I enjoyed
Now, did you go by yourself?
Yeah.
Really? And how long did it take you? And what route did you take?
Now, that's interesting that you say that. I left here and went to Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
That's my first stop. And then my second stop was Deming, New Mexico.
Okay.
When I get to Deming, New Mexico, it's cloudy and it's raining, and the ceiling at the airport was only 300 feet. Well,
whoa!
Yeah, man, you need 1,000 feet. So I had to go to El Paso and get out of the weather. And I got there, and from east from me there, Abilene, Texas, all over there was raining big time.
Yeah.
So I spent the night in El Paso, Texas.
Okay, smart.
Waited till the weather changed, got up early in the morning, and flew into Gun Barrel from El Paso.
Okay. Now how many hours did it take to go from El Paso to Gun Barrel?
How many hours in flight, actually in the air flying, was 9 hours.
Now, wow. That's a good little range.
It is. 9
now,
hours.
What's the maximum range on that plane?
Well, okay, that's a good question. The plane carries 5 hours of fuel. I only wanted to fly 3 hours because I had never flown this plane long distance before.
So you don't know.
And I don't know, so I like to have plenty of fuel. The only time I ain't got too much gas is if I'm on fire. If I ain't on fire, I want all the gas I can get.
And put a 5-gallon can in the back seat, right?
Exactly.
So
between I didn't
between
fly over 3 hours was my limit.
So between El Paso and Gun Barrel, you stopped.
No.
Somewhere.
El Paso Gun Barrel. That took me 2.5 hours.
Oh, I thought you said 9 hours. Okay.
No. When I say 9 hours, I'm talking about flying time from California to Gun Barrel, Texas.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Flying time was 9 hours.
9 hours. Okay, total. I got you. Okay.
Right. Now, it took me longer than 9 hours because of the weather.
Right, of course.
I landed in El Paso and spent the night.
Okay. That was smart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so the same thing with boating. When you're traveling out on the ocean and even some of the rivers, you just can't chance or push the weather envelope.
No,
stupid.
I understand. And I understand what you're saying. I don't know how to do it. You do, but I understand it.
No, it's basically the same. You check the weather before you leave, and you check it again before you leave.
Exactly.
And if it looks like there's a little squall or something out there,
while you moving.
That's right, because shit changes in a matter of minutes.
I swear to God.
Yeah, that's right.
So, especially with airplanes, but like you say, with boats also. And see, people don't know the kind of airplanes I fly. No airplane can fly through thunderstorms. My airplane, I got to stop and let the weather go by it. Now, them 737s and them 747s, they go up above the storm.
Right.
Fly at 39,000, 40,000 feet. Or they can go around a thunderstorm. Right. The average one is 150 miles wide or 200 miles wide. They can go around the thunderstorm.
And still be cool.
And still be cool because they got all that fuel and they're flying at 575 miles an hour.
That's right.
So, and the people in the airplane don't know. It just took you 15 more minutes to get there.
Right. Sit back and relax and leave the flying to us.
Right. But now, here, let me give you this example, then I get out of this. when I was going to Chicago to my sister's funeral, and the storm was over Chicago big time, and they will not land them airplanes in the storm. So I had to wait till the storm was over. Well, I missed the funeral because the funeral was at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I couldn't get there. They couldn't get me there before 6 o'clock Saturday.
Wow.
See, so people don't know that, but they think them big planes that fly through everything. Those guys are planning, and they are doing all the stuff I just got through telling you to get where they're going.
That's right. You got to navigate.
Yeah, now they've got more. They got more than I got, see, because the average thunderstorm is at 16,000 feet down to the earth.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Not too many thunders. If you get a thunderstorm that's at 20,000 feet, it's from Dallas, Texas to St. Louis. That's a big thunderstorm, and that's unusual.
Okay.
But in my plane, I can only fly at 18,000 feet. That's how high I can go.
Okay.
So I'm right in the middle of the storm. Okay?
Absolutely.
Now, the big planes can fly good. They go up to 40,000.
That's right. They can fly way over it.
Right. Plus, I'm flying at 200 miles an hour, and they flying at 575 miles.
That's getting it.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's always fascinating, man, when you call in and give us those kind of stories and what have you.
Okay.
Hey, Ron, can I ask you a question?
You can ask me anything.
Oh, I certainly will.
Okay.
How long have you known Lee Michaels? How long?
I met Lee Michaels when he first came to St. Louis in 1974. Was it 73?
Yes.
Okay.
April Fool's Day, 1973, and I've been a fool ever since.
And he came there. Keith Adams was you had what's the guy's name? I saw him on the paper this morning. Doug Eason. Lee Michaels.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what was that?
When you came to St. Louis, KATZ,
right.
1973, Doug Eason was the general manager.
That's right. Keith Adams was the PD.
And then you had on there Jim Gates.
No, Jim was over at
WESL.
But before ESL, it was KWK.
Oh.
And remember, the river consumed that radio station, and they went off the air.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yep.
And I had to go see you guys at the radio station. I had to get a boat to go to the radio.
That's right. You had to get in a rowboat and go over to the station because it was kind of like on a little island because the water had consumed everything around it.
Right.
In fact, the last night that station was on the air, Big Ralph, who was from St. Louis, Ralph Little and I got in that rowboat and went over, and we were probably there maybe the last 2 hours before they went off. They had to sign off the air.
I understand.
And Jim Gates was over there and a bunch of the other guys, and we went over there to say goodbye. And then I went to the KATZ. I was on the competing station.
Was Bernie Hayes over there?
I think Bernie might have been there. I don't remember.
Okay.
So I went on the air in the evening and talked about him like a dog. I said, "Yeah, we ran him out of town. We ran the water up on him." Oh, I had to pour it on. So.
Chris, that was what he's talking about was a major storm, and I don't think they've had one like that since.
No, the Mississippi River
overflowed up in St. Louis.
That's right. Sure did. Took that station off the air.
It did. Yeah.
So you've known him since 1973. Am I correct?
Correct.
All right. So you're talking about a total right now of 44 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Would you concur that there is a on-air Lee Michaels and an off-air Lee Michaels?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Now, why would you ask that question?
Hey,
follow me on this, Ron.
What are you, a damn lawyer now?
Chris,
listen.
I remember going to see this guy at the radio station, and I don't know whether I can say this or not, but he was talking on the radio. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to KATZ, and now I'm getting ready to play for you Stevie Wonder, and talking clean and clear, sounding like you. And then as soon as he pressed the button and the music started playing, I told that motherfucker,
You're making that up, man. Come on.
I'm not making it up. I told that motherfucker not to come over here.
That was Keith. That was not me. And Keith used to stutter.
No. Keith had the same problem, but Keith was a stutterer, Michael. Don't you remember, Lee?
Yeah, I do.
Keith would be talking to you, and you press that button on the radio and sound clean.
Clean as a whistle. That would completely go away. I remember one time I was at KDIA by then. He hired me out there, and I had done something wrong on the air, and he called me into his office to rake me over the coals, right? Mm-hmm. So Keith is sitting there in his office. He got sweat rings all under his. He's pissed as a big time at me, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, "Sit your ass down." I said, "What's wrong, Keith?" He said, "I told you not to do that shit on there no more." I said, "Keith, what did I do?" He said, "You know what you did. You and the goddamn Johnny Morris. y'all were fucking with Doug Clark." I said, "No, man."
Oh, man.
I said, "Wait a minute, Keith. Hold on, man. One second." I got up and ran into the production room and grabbed the old Sennheiser microphone and brought it back and put it in front of him. And he looked at me like, "You one crazy motherfucker." I said, "Well, I know every time the microphone is in front of you, you don't stutter anymore. I just want you to get it out so you can get this ass whooping you putting on me out. I want to get it over with."
But I think what it is, it's a mental thing.
It is, yeah.
What you realize.
Yeah.
Because when you push that button, man, all three of y'all, I can tell, Chris, by listening to you. You push that button, there's a certain presentation that comes across.
Oh, yeah, you become an actor. You're a voice actor.
Yeah, and the one thing y'all don't do when you're speaking words and stuff, you don't miss no syllables.
Well, you train not
and
to.
you're good. I mean, that's the professionalism. But then,
nowadays,
when you press the button and the radio's off, then you turn into you.
And see, that's my point.
Oh,
that's
be
my
quiet.
point right
Nobody
there.
cares about your point, okay?
Listen to my point, Ron.
Come on, Creed.
You're my only friend right now since legal abandoned my ass. I'm trying to let you know that the off-air Lee Michaels needs to be on air.
Okay.
We must do a show like Lee After Dark or Uber Lee, as I nicknamed him before. This Uber Lee character is hilarious.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I just do that. I perform for you on the telephone when we're talking, not come up with stupid, crazy shit, and just to entertain you. And I do that to my passengers in my car.
Don't clean it up.
No,
don't clean up. You know goddamn well that's you.
It's a captive audience, and I know you want to be entertained, so I entertain you. Mm-hmm. I'm a part-time comedian. And Carol, don't you say a word over there. Just keep playing with your cell phone.
No, I was just looking at comments with people.
Keep playing with yourself.
No, she might. I don't know.
See, now, some people would take that as sexual harassment.
Well, yeah, but you know.
But Carol doesn't.
Yeah,
and when you get our age, you will
when
pay somebody to harass you sexually.
I noticed people came in. I wasn't saying people were racist. I said it works in all colors. I see it all ways.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And people's got to move on sometimes. I didn't live back in the Native American days when they made them walk the Trail of Tears, and you guys didn't live as slaves. There's a lot of things we didn't do. We have to try to move on, but then Trump's trying to move us all backwards again.
I'm sorry, Karen. What exactly is the Trail of Tears?
It was when they took us Native Americans and they made us walk to, I think, South Dakota it was. Because I don't know if I'm Sioux or Cheyenne. They just walked us. I haven't read the whole book. But
no, you walked from Georgia, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and parts of Kentucky across they were taking you to Oklahoma, and it was, they lost 15,000 people on that walk. When they walked all those people, they were getting them out. This right after the Civil War. They was getting them out of the South and getting them over into Oklahoma.
Well, they don't realize either how many of us they killed. I mean, I have pictures at home where they took our kids and nailed them to trees. 4 and 5 kids at a time.
But that Trail of Tears, That's what that's all about.
Yeah.
And
That's
it
horrible.
was a horrible thing. And they moved them people and didn't take them in wagons and shit and made
No, they
them
made you
walk.
walk. Well, right now there's a lot of controversy because a lot of our Indian kids have always lived on reservations. We have our own language. I don't speak it. And they don't want to let them in colleges if they don't speak English. Well, I think that's wrong because Native American is the true language of America.
I agree with you.
And they're making these kids leave because
I
they don't
agree with
speak
you, but-
English.
But people can come from here from Russia and Japan,
Anywhere.
and India, and they have trouble with the language, but they're not turned away.
No, they're not.
What's up with that?
I mean,
Well, what's
Jim
up
was
with
here
that
5
is-
years
let
and
me
could
tell you
speak
what's up
English
with that.
good.
There's two races of people that they will never be able to pay off no matter what they do, no matter how long it is. And that's Native Americans and the 165 million slaves that they brought in here and worked for years for nothing. They ain't going to never be able to pay you back. You
Well,
always
you know, when I go to powwow, I don't know where this tribe comes from, but they are black.
Really?
And I tell people Native Americans hid slaves out.
Mm-hmm.
They what?
They hid the slaves out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
believe
I
that.
mean, that when I go to powwow, there's a big powwow actually this week in San Pedro for 3 days.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember the Native Americans in South Dakota, was it South Dakota or North Dakota?
That's where my tribe is at Pine Ridge. We're very poor.
Bill Clinton was the president, and he tried to give them people money for things that have happened to them, and they turned it down. I said, no, you'll never be able to pay us. You ain't got enough money to pay us for this. This is ours, and this will be in your history.
Mm.
Well, I have land there, and they constantly try to get us to sell it back to the reservation because we don't live on it. But I'm not going to sell it back.
I wouldn't either.
No, I'm not.
Sell it back to the
They
reservation?
actually lease my land, our land for my family. I'm lucky if I make $3 a year, and we need to be able to break that lease because it was signed for 200 years. That's another thing they've done, which people don't talk about.
Let's go over there and build something on it and do an Airbnb on it.
Nobody wants to be in South Dakota.
You never know.
And that's
Ron
true.
will fly us over
Palm
there.
Springs, they make a fortune, those Indians.
Yeah.
They make a fortune.
Down in South Florida, too. Yeah, I live next door to a Native American down there in Fort Lauderdale. No, it was Hollywood. And she was telling us that her son gets $6,000 a month, and she gets $6,000.
Oh, no, Palm Springs ones get probably about $50,000 a month.
Jeez.
All right. Oh,
And
man,
it's
Levi,
funny, people look at me and they'll go,
I
well,
gotta
you're
go.
too
My
pale
Michael
to be
just left
Indian.
All right, buddy.
I'm
Thank
too
you. I'll
pale
talk
to
to
be
you. Hey, I
Indian.
enjoyed talking to you all. Thank you very much.
Always.
See you next time.
All right, partner. Take
All
care.
right, take care, Ron. Thank you, sir.
This is the first time he's actually said goodbye, because usually he just hangs up. He's gone. Go, Ron?
People say I do that. They'll be talking to me.
Yeah,
and all
you
of
do
a
that.
sudden I hang up.
You did me the other day.
I did?
But I thought maybe you just had a bad cell. But
No,
I
I
think she'll
think
get tired
I
of talking to you and just hang up. Come on. Hello? Hello, Carol? Where the hell
No,
are
but
you?
Lee puts you on hold. He goes, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I do that. I have a bad habit of that.
You're waiting and waiting. Then you go.
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a telephone sickness. When I get on that next call and it becomes engaging, I forget about the last call. It was
right, because the person before be damned.
Be damned. Yeah, that's your ass.
Right, that's right.
You know, hang the,
That's it.
hang
That's
up.
it. That's all.
Bye, bitch.
Hey, did you see where those people were released by
Who?
the Taliban?
Yeah, I saw the headline on it, but I didn't
Yeah.
get a chance to read
And
it.
that Canadian man, the husband,
Uh-huh.
they were going to send him here. He said, no, do not send me to the U.S., Canada.
Really?
Well, there's something in his history where he thinks the U.S. would try to arrest him.
Okay.
I have to read it more to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But they had kids over there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing. I'm sure Trump will take credit for that.
Of course.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned earlier about who was the PD you said that stuttered?
Keith Adams.
Keith Adams. Okay. Everybody knows somebody that stutters or
Right.
been in course in the
I
company,
used to
something like
stutter.
that. Well, see, that's trained because with stuttering, like, what's his name? You know, James Earl Jones stutters.
Is that
For
right? I
example.
didn't know that.
He has tremendous breath control. Marilyn
I
Monroe
had to have
stuttered.
a lot of speech classes and lessons.
Marilyn Monroe.
She stuttered. Chicago Tribune White House correspondent Clarence Page stutters. And,
Wow.
I mean, all these great people stutter, but you just never know.
That's right. That's interesting. I worked with a guy in Chicago. Actually, I didn't work with him. He was on the station before I got there at WBMX. I'm trying to remember his name now. But he had Tourette syndrome.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but he never came out on the air. When he turned the microphone on, it went away. But as soon as that mic was off, he's bitch.
I think the girl that I think the girl that lives with me has it.
Really?
Yeah, I'll hear her in there, and it's the same sound all the time.
Wow.
Man.
I hear it all the time.
That's fascinating.
But this
It's
guy would
fascinating
go
to me.
off.
Oh yeah, I had a
off the-
hairdresser
off the
friend.
handles.
Oh my God.
He would start saying the F word,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I went to the station and they gave me a little tour and took me into the studio. He was on the air and he was just going off. And they said, man, well, you don't pay him any mind. He has Tourette syndrome. I said, how does he be on the air with that? And he said, well, I mean, you ought to see him at jock meetings. This dude goes off. I said, wow.
I had a
That's as
client
bad
once
as
that had
I'm
that
sorry, go
too,
ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah.
and I got scared of him
Yeah.
because he started saying the F word, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell? And then he wanted to he asked, could he have an orange? He pulled out this hunting knife. So I left my other hairdresser friend in my living room with him, and I called my daughter. I said, don't come out the room. If you hear noise, go out the window.
Wow.
But the next time I went in the bedroom and locked my door, left my friend out there.
But the people with Tourette syndrome, they're not violent, right?
No, but see,
It's
I
just
didn't know that.
yeah.
He was, because he was saying the F word.
Right.
And then he pulled out that big hunting knife. So
Yeah.
what would you think?
Yeah, that would be a little
But
scary.
I found out later on he was Tourette's.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
people
like I was
just
saying
make
before
little
about-
sounds.
Yeah.
True. Well, I was saying before about the stuttering. When I was back at ABC WLS, in the building, they had security, of course, and there was these two guys working security. One guy was named Joe, other guy was named Vince, so they call him VR. So the story was told to me was, in fact, Joe relayed it back to me later, was they were talking, and, you know, you're on the job, you're on the gig, you start making complaints about your job. They're not covering me for my, my overtime, or just complaining about the gig in general.
Sure.
So Joe gets up, goes to the bathroom, and comes back, and he sees VR getting off the phone. Yeah, and we want a raise too. Goodbye. And hooking the phone up. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, well, who are you talking to? Mary Pratt. Now, Mary Pratt's in charge of the building. I left a message. I told her that we needed a raise. Wait a minute. Why did you call her for? Yeah, but we just talked about we need a raise. No, wait. What the fuck you called for? And so I realized that Joe gets nervous. He
Yeah.
starts to stutter.
What? So, man,
And
you
he-
gonna blow my job.
Right, that's what he said later. Oh, fuck, there goes my job.
Guys couldn't
Because
make
he
fun
called
of
their
him.
he called their supervisor and left this long ass message about their demands.
Right. That's too funny. Now, what was a
Not to
comedian?
offend the stuttering community.
What was a comedian that used to? I don't know if it was intentional or it's just the way he talked, but he acted as if he was drunk and he was stuttering.
The old comedian back in the day,
Yeah.
Foster Brooks.
Is that was it? Yeah, I think so.
They had like a beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foster Brooks. yeah.
Foster Brooks. Yeah, he used to crack me up. Now, did he? Was that an act?
That was an act for someone who didn't drink. He said his dad was an alcoholic.
Oh, okay. So that's where he got his motivation from,
Right,
inspiration.
he mimicked his dad,
Yeah.
but he never drank.
That's funny.
I'm hungry. Just dawned on me.
You want to call Uber Eats? I mean, what
No,
are you
can we
thinking?
should we go eat after?
What's the day? Thursday?
Yeah.
How about Taco Thursday?
Taco Thursday,
No, that's
right?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Every day is taco day. Well, you had some oatmeal.
I ate that for my cholesterol.
Oh, okay. Well,
like-
yeah, we can go get something to eat. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, I had to say that on air. I'm
Yeah.
hungry. And
Why'd you have to say
I
that?
hope people didn't misunderstand me when I said what I said.
What
I
did
was
you say
just
to me?
when I said about how people, even as a Native American, I've been targeted. Where
Oh, of course.
they'll say,
yeah.
"You're not Indian. You're too pale." I go, "Well, look at my cheekbones and everything. My hair. This is my hair color."
Yeah, well, that's just their inexperience,
Oh,
their ignorance.
You can look at me and see I'm Native American.
You something, I'm not sure
I
what it
wouldn't
is.
know.
Yeah, right. They don't know. They
I
can't
have
see
very,
you.
very high cheekbones. At times, I hate them.
No, don't hate anything about yourself.
And I hate my neck now because when I was younger, I loved my long neck and the big veins. But now, as you get older, it's the same neck, but
Well,
it looks different
You
as
want me
you
to
get
shorten
older.
that neck up a little
No.
bit? No? Okay.
But my
All
neck's
right.
always been
Just
like
checking.
that. I'll show you pictures. I've always had a long neck.
We can Archie Bell and the Drell on you.
And when I
Do the
used to
tighten up?
have speech problems, they would sing this song, Katie. They would all sing that. Beautiful
Katie?
Katie.
What the hell was that? I don't know that one.
No, it's cemetery.
Hello?
You know, how they sing songs.
Welcome to the show.
Native American.
Hello?
Yeah, turn your radio down or your phone or whatever it is.
Sorry about that.
Who is this?
Take a guess.
Oh, Lord.
It's not
Now,
the
Lord
guy
have mercy.
yesterday.
Man, he's alive.
No, I've seen him on Facebook. He's on my page.
He came back from the dead.
Yeah, really.
I heard you died.
Because people are dying.
Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, you're back.
When
Thank
people
God.
see this the
Well,
time
thank yourself,
of
since the
robbery
Lord.
and killing, okay, between now and Christmas, or sometimes New Year's. So people are realizing, a lot of people think about, most people think about self-defense is when they're getting their ass beat. Okay? It's too late now. So now, this is the season for them, and that's what I've been doing.
What are you talking about?
First of all, you didn't even say
keep
hello,
self-defense,
how you
sir.
doing, how's your thyroid? Nothing like that. Just start it with your crap. Say hello, how you doing? I've been gone for a little bit, and explain why.
And say who you are. I mean,
Say who you are. We don't know who, no people know who the hell you are, man.
Ain't none of that happened. But if you really wanted to know,
Wait, stop. Don't you say shit. Before you say anything else, state your name for the record, and then go on. Because nobody knows who you are, sir. Because you've been missing in action for a while, and we know you've been having medical problems. But the rest of us who do not know, state your name and keep it moving. So, what is your name?
my name is Lord Stephen Michael Smith.
And how old are you?
State of Oregon. Or what you might call white hell.
Oh, okay.
you're in Oregon. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Well, you can move. You don't have to be there.
Yeah, I thought about that because in Woodlawn in Chicago, they are offering loans, but the prices and stuff are too much. I have to go through a rigmarole for my guns because I ain't giving them up.
Well, isn't your wife Caucasian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
so-
follow
You have to think
him.
about that?
Yeah. yeah, you had to think about that.
Yeah, think about your wife being Caucasian.
What I had to think about is, do I still call her my wife?
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
All
Well, I
right.
hope she
You
ain't
just-
listening to
you
you.
just
'cause
open up
we're gonna
Pandora's
hear
box
a frying
now, so-
pan hitting your head in a minute.
So
Oh, yeah, right. She's
Yeah,
right here
yeah.
listening to me. Yeah. I'm crazy, not stupid.
so now, Lord, let me ask you this: what do you think about this guy in Vegas that shot up all those people?
Number one, the hotel is completely responsible because you cannot get 10-4 suitcases. If that man was black, they would have been stopped him.
But you know what? Not to make excuses for him, but it's not unusual for people to come into Las Vegas because it's a big convention area.
And he was
they
a
br-
big gambler
Yeah,
there, you guys.
and he
so he
probably
was
knew
well
everybody,
known.
and it's not unusual for people to bring in not only suitcases loaded with all kind of shit, but flight cases because they have displays that they set up in these suites. So I don't think that that would have rang a bell of, well, this is kind of unusual.
See, to me, it would have rang a bell to me. It's just like there's a guy, I forgot his name, in Fresno. He had 5 coffins in his house, and my thing is, how the hell can you get 5 coffins in the house and the neighbors don't know?
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Somebody, he was just inconspicuous. He was a rich man. Nobody questioned him. That's it. But that 6
And he
minute
was a
span
big-time
could have helped a
gambler
lot of
in
people.
Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he knew his way
So
around.
everything
there.
was comped for him there. I
Yeah.
can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And the ones who really told the story are the hookers. He was with.
I haven't heard
they
those
gave him
stories.
the best clarity that they're going to get about this man.
What did they say? I didn't see the reports on the hookers.
Oh, that he was cheap.
He was what?
He was there. He had hookers in the room for 2 days before he started shooting.
Did he?
And the
And
hookers
those
told him what
women
kind of
did
person he
see all
was, but
that?
the one thing that stood out is that he was cheap.
Now, did they see any guns?
No, apparently not.
Yeah. So he hadn't pulled it out at that point.
She might have been paid to shut up.
Yeah.
The gun.
Yeah. Yeah, the gun. See, Chris, you listen well.
Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit too well, I've been told.
I like to pinpoint it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, and at least the information has been released so far. Have you guys seen any reports in terms of what they found or didn't find on the computers?
No, they haven't released that yet. They're not
Right.
going to tell you through. They
And,
want to see the whole arsenal line up.
right.
They ain't doing that yet.
And
You know what?
the interview with the girlfriend kind of came and went. Not much seemed to have come out of that.
Oh, but she can't leave the country.
She's on lockdown.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the house like a child on punishment.
No, she's locked in. You know what? and she needs to stop because that man had help taking them suitcases up there.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, and I've heard many people say
He
that.
probably used the bellhops to get it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, he don't need no help. he just
And
call
how do you
down
think
and
that bellhop would feel about now?
well, they don't know
Yeah.
what they don't know. They didn't know there were, an arsenal of 23 guns and what have you. They didn't know.
Yeah, but the thing
He
about
put the bags
it,
on
you know,
those
my
trolley
heart
things
goes
and
out
keep
to
it
the
moving.
people, but the thing out of the whole thing, I want me a bump stock.
You want to know what?
Bump stock.
A buckshot?
That's the instrument that was on the
I
gun
thought
that
you
made
said-
it shoot
Oh,
rapid.
the butt stock. Yeah. You want one? You say?
Bump stock.
Well, you better hurry up and buy it because I think they're gonna
Oh,
base
they
it.
all offline.
They're gone, huh?
Oh, they all off. The original makers that we're right now making a decision to do such. They want to see what Congress says.
Mm-hmm.
Before they mess around and get sued.
Well, they're all offline, but I bet you can buy them on the black market at a higher
they got them
price.
on $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Lord Stephen, you're black. Get on the black market.
It's a dangerous place, the black market. I don't have that. I'm not like that anymore.
Isn't that funny? In the Middle
I
East, the
could buy
black
legally.
market's like a flea market. They call it the black market, but it's the best place to shop.
is it
Yeah.
It's
like
legal.
Louis Vuitton?
Yeah,
knockoffs?
no, they're just little stores and that. It's like
Yeah.
down alleyways.
Like a flea
but
market. Okay.
It's kind of like when you go downtown to the alley, but they call it the black market.
Because somebody, you know the secret how much somebody's going, hey, you come here. I got what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, but people think that it's just a word. You go to a store. You don't just go to the store. You go to a place.
Mm-hmm.
Black market's just like what's that called? The bartenders had at night. They went to a different house. I forgot what it's called. What kind of house it's called? But just like that,
A
the
whore
bartenders
house?
can go there. Don't need the bartenders to come in and they get served by the staff there. I forgot what they call, but a lot of house people have it. And when they have them, they're responsible for what happened from that point to them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the hotel was truly responsible. That 6 minutes, why 6 minutes? Why was there a 6 minute span before he started shooting? And the man that was shot already.
You mean
The
the
Vegas police could have got there if they were called at an appropriate time.
Yeah, there's a lot of loose ends, and you know what? I've pulled back on making any comments until the full report is released because you just don't know what tidbits of information is real or not. And
Well, what they're going to do is that the man somehow crashed and did this. They're not going to call him a domestic terrorist, which he was.
Absolutely.
Some of these places have already said that Obama and Hillary paid him to do this.
Oh, let's see. Come on.
Shot at a place with all white people.
Come on, man.
Yeah, but he was going to hit Chance the Rapper's concert.
Oh, they did that. There's all kind of speculations, but they'll never know. I mean, even the Taliban takes claim.
Yeah. See,
but they really don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
It was the Taliban doing it. That would just mess America up because that would mean they're here.
Well, you can't take what they say, ISIS and all those guys, because they want to cause disruption and fear and hate. And, anything like that was so egregious, they're going to try to take credit for it. But that was dispelled and disproved by the FBI, CIA, and all of that. So, if you trust that. So it just depends on what story you want to believe.
Roof got out that was when they had him arrested, white people already decided that. Even the commentator on the news was saying, look at him. He just looks somber. That guy, he doesn't need to be in jail. He needs to be in a mental institution. He's just got problems. Oh, really? Yeah, he got problems. He just killed 8 black people.
Yeah.
But they tried to make a defense of him. They could have got the case.
So let me ask you this.
Problem if he would have shut up.
Lord have mercy. Let me ask you a question. What was the motivation for this guy in Vegas? Why did he do that?
I really don't know. I would assume because what you see is that he somehow, did he hate country music? Did he have a problem with white people? And this is the really thing they're looking at because there was an all-white audience.
Yeah.
So what clicked him to make him go, I really can't say, man. Nobody's ever going to know, and that's the pissed off thing about it. Everybody that does this always kills themselves, so,
Yep.
But I tell you what, they didn't blow him up like they did that brother in Texas.
Well, from the reports we've heard so far, they say he killed himself. Now, some believe that he didn't kill himself, that there was a second shooter, and maybe that person, I'm not even going to go down the conspiracy road. I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to participate in the bovine.
I don't. I've been asked on my self-defense page. People have wanted to know, what can you do? You can't do anything like that. Well, you could have did something. There was something that they could have did to stop the shooting. That's 36 stories up. They have automatic weapons that can shoot 36 feet up.
But I think
all they had to do is get at the right angle and shoot at the roof, rapid fire, and ricochets would have kept them back.
Well, that's true. But I think there was at least for the first 11 minutes, I don't think anybody on the ground knew where it was coming from. And there weren't enough, and they waited for SWAT to get there as opposed to the police that were on the ground to run up there and try to deal with it. So that was a command or decision made by the local police to hold up and wait for SWAT once they identified where it was coming from. Right. So listen, what was he, 400 yards away? That's a long way in a 22 or 223 or a 30-yard 8, a 308 has more range and impact, I think, at that range. But even that's a low caliber for that kind of distance.
Yeah, but the accuracy of it is what counts.
Right.
A gun doesn't have to be big to stop somebody.
Now, let me ask you this. Not allegedly, but there are reports that some firearm experts have put out reports that they believe that the shooting did not come from that location because the rejected shells would have burned holes in the carpet because of the heat from it. Now, you're a gun guy, right?
I'm learning.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a true statement? Are those shells so hot?
They get hot enough to burn you, but not the carpet.
Okay. So this so-called expert doesn't know what he's talking about.
Go shoot a gun and tell him put the cartridge down his chest and see how he feels.
Yeah.
He'll know it cannot burn it. Yeah, it can. But the man was meticulous. He might have thrown a mat down. You know, this man did his homework. He wrote down the trajectory on the table, so he had no question about his angle.
Mm-hmm.
No question that he will kill someone.
Yeah. It's just why? What was the motivation? What was he upset, pissed off, or what was his point for doing
Say
this?
hello, honey.
And we'll never know, probably, because he's dead.
There, too.
Is that your wife back there?
Hello there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
Okay, that's it. No more from him.
I guess I have
stop
to hand
it.
the phone back to him.
No.
No, don't throw it back to him.
No,
Please don't.
You sound a lot better than he does. So let's just
Yes, you do.
let him sit back in the background for a while.
Can I ask you a question? This is Chris Bates. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Chris.
How can you marry a guy named Lord?
Have mercy.
Yes,
Right.
Lord Stephen.
No, his
Right,
name
Lord
is Lord
Stephen,
Have
right.
Mercy over here, okay?
Yeah, Lee changed his name to Lord Have Mercy, which is absolutely correct. Not even Lord, LAWD. Lord Have Mercy.
Loud Have
There's
Mercy.
never a dull moment with him.
I'm sure.
I'm hip.
You got him under control, though, right?
Well, of course I do.
Good. That's great.
Oh, I feel better. Now I can sleep at night.
Oh,
See,
well, that's
she's the one you need to
good.
talk to.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you need to call in more often than Steven there.
Well, I'm at work during the day.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
damn
we'll,
it.
we'll do a night show just for you.
Oh, okay, well, that
Absolutely.
sounds good. Here's Steve.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
See, here's
What
Steve.
it is, she's here early because I have to go to court for
Ah,
trespassing.
What'd you do now? Shoot somebody in the kneecap?
trespassing?
No, this homosexual tried to front me one day, and I waited to get him back. And when I went in the store next time, I called and said, "What's up, Captain Homo?" And he didn't like that.
And
And he told me to leave the store, and I said no.
Oh,
But I did leave the store. But when I left the store, he came over to the car, write the license plate down, and said that he wants to have me arrested. Well, I'm out of your damn store, right? And at the time the police came, I was at the door herding him in. So,
Well, why did you
What the
call him
hell?
out of his name?
say again?
Why did you call him Captain Homo or whatever you said?
Because
Why would you do
I was
that?
there before. I had brought a cartridge there. He was yelling in my face, and he should have given me an apology because he was completely wrong. And when I expressed how I felt about him yelling in my face, he said, "Leave my store." I almost jumped across the counter. Oh, by the way, it's a marijuana store.
oh, you were in there buying drugs?
No, I was buying marijuana.
That's different.
Slight difference.
It's a drug. Matter of fact, it's
But you
it's
must-
not even a drug. It's still a drug in Chicago.
You-
and I'm going to get my national medical marijuana card.
Well, how did you buy? Is it recreational up there?
Yes, recreational and
Medicinal,
medical.
Okay, so
Medical gets the discounts,
right, okay.
and medical gets the stuff that is really strong.
Well, now, Lord, were you high when you walked in the store?
Nope, I've
Okay,
been drinking.
you've been drinking.
Oh, well, you were drunk.
Yeah.
No, I was not drunk, and that's what he tells people. I was not drunk. I was sane.
Well, see, he
When I
probably
walked in-
thought
when
you
I walked
were
in the store,
because
just imagine a smirk.
you're
a
saying
motherfucking
this
guy
stuff.
that makes you want to jump across the counter and whoop his ass. Okay? When I walked in there, he
Nope.
smirked like that. My man said, "Fuck it."
Now, Lord, what are you being charged for? What's the
Trespassing.
trespassing? That's it?
But I was out the store.
Yeah.
See, so I'm not worried about it. The laws here are pretty good. Here.
Well, if you had hit him, you'd probably be in jail.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I am going. Well, he keeps telling people that I was drunk, which that's a lawsuit. And if I was drunk, the police would have had me for a drunk and disorderly.
Right.
Oh,
Did-
I thought
did
you
they make
said
you blow?
were drinking.
Oh,
They didn't make you blow.
how many drinks did I have?
Yeah.
I had two
Two what?
double shots of two vodka gimlets.
Two doubles. So that's four
Double shots,
drinks. Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't make you blow.
Why? I was not drunk.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah,
know, that's what all drunks say.
You probably
talking about-
appeared to be.
You're talking about blow into the,
I
breathalyzer,
understand what
correct?
you're saying.
Yeah,
I didn't ask
yeah.
for your help,
Okay,
Chris.
just checking.
I'm still crazy, not stupid.
Well, that's true.
But the line is thin. Anyway, yeah, I really shouldn't have did that, but he fronted me in front of my wife.
Yeah. Now,
Oh,
what did
your
your
wife was with you.
So what did your wife say
Yeah,
about
my
it
wife
all?
was with me. That day he did that shit.
Well, couldn't she
And
go?
it was
Oh,
her
no,
birthday.
'cause
Thank
she's
you,
married.
honey. It was her birthday.
Now, what did she say to you? Was she in agreement with you, or she said,
No,
"Lord,
my
you
wife
shouldn't
was
have
in
done"?
the car,
Oh, she didn't see it. Okay.
and I was just going in to buy some marijuana, and he was there, and I saw that smirky looking look on his face, and, you know, they got a law against hitting people here.
I think that's pretty much everywhere.
That's 6 years in prison automatic, so. I'm too old, I ain't going.
Yeah, you
So
can't walk around
I
whipping
got-
people,
They
you know.
won't touch me.
So how, now let me ask you this: what kind and how much marijuana were you buying?
I think I want to get 3 grams.
3 grams. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds like birthday weed.
The THC balance that I usually drink or smoke is 21 to 28%.
21 to 20. I don't know what that means.
What do you do that wax?
Okay, in reality, there's only 2 strands of marijuana. There's only 2 forms: couch and functional. Functional is from 5 to 15. Couch is from 17 to 30.
So
I'm
that's
a couch man.
that's the potency you're talking about?
Yes, sir. And
Okay.
when you say the couch, that's what it means. The couch. You
The
are
couch.
not going further than
Then the couch. Okay. That makes
That's
sense
what
to
you-
me now.
When you go in, they say, what you want? And then you say, I want couch. Oh, okay, come on here.
Wow. Boy, the language has really changed.
Look in the drawer. Say again, sir?
I don't know any of that language.
That's because, well, you could learn online. Your state has medical marijuana.
Yeah, it does, and I don't partake anymore.
Oh,
So
you poor soul. Only
Yeah.
reason I have to is because I have a real bad thing with nausea. Okay. And at
Nausea?
times, sometimes I'll be
Nausea.
nauseous and I'll smoke a joint. I'm cool.
okay. Maybe it's what you're
that
eating.
ain't
What's your diet like?
Maybe you're pregnant.
You know, I was liking you for a second, lady.
Wow.
You know what? And you know, you are educating me about the Indians today, Native Americans. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate that. I tuned in at the right time.
Good. We try to. Well, we hope that people will take some knowledge away from the show. You know, I like to keep it light and bright, and my little warped sense of humor comes out from time to time. And Carol yawns and eats oatmeal.
I know I heard it. Y'all didn't-
I did. I'm tired. I get up every day at 4:30 or 5.
Yeah, you need to stop
That's me
doing that
too.
stuff. That's too damn early.
I gotta
4
comb the
o'clock every morning.
cats.
Comb the cats at 4
Feed
o'clock
'em.
in the morning. If I was your cat, I'd bite the shit out of you. You tried to comb me at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's cruel.
No, Lee will tell you, my cat wants to be brushed. I could say,
Yeah.
you want me to brush him? Meow.
They saying no.
And he runs to the bedroom waiting on me.
No.
If he could
My
carry the
dog
brush,
wanted to
it
be
would
brushed
be
up
the
by
smell.
one of the dogs.
Oh.
Oh, they do clean each other.
Yeah, they do.
They clean each other.
That
You
is
better
true.
Go over there and fight them. I ain't having it.
Yeah, they don't stink.
All right, Lloyd, good to hear from you, man. I'm glad you called in. We were worried
Yeah,
about you.
absolutely.
The first thing I said when I heard about the guy up there in Las Vegas, I said, was that Lloyd? Did he lose all of his damn mind? All right, folks, listen, y'all have a safe weekend. We're out of here for the rest of the week. We'll be back on Monday, maybe. On thepowerofvoices.com, YouTube Live, and Facebook. Chris, thanks for another outstanding week. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, man. Thank you, sir. Absolutely. Thanks,
Yeah.
Carol. Take care.
Carol, thank you. Without you on the show, it wouldn't be the same. And we appreciate what you bring to the table.
Oh, thank
Did she
you.
yarn again? Oh, you're welcome. I thought you yarned again.
She did.
I did.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I did.
All right, now go take a nap and we'll
Well, I
be okay.
got a job tomorrow, a long one.
Okay. All right, listen, folks, we'll be back on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That's noon in the Midwest and 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast. Have a safe and pleasant weekend. Be kind and evict the president. Get rid of him, please. So when I come back in here Monday, we can have a party and celebrate. Hail, hail, the witch is gone. In the meantime, be safe, be kind, love somebody.